Oh, hey, good afternoon. I'm a little bit later than I normally am, so I'm sorry if you've been waiting around. Say hi if you're there watching live, or stick some comments afterwards if you're on the replay. I was out yesterday at Clarendon Wood and I did a couple of lives. I did an Instagram and a live on here about my course in September, This Is Me, and I talk a lot about emotional abuse and there being a cycle. And this cycle is not just romantic relationships, it's in families, it's in the workplace, but there's the same cycle. So I thought I'll record 3 videos, one today, one for Wednesday, one I'll do a Facebook Live, today, Wednesday and Thursday. So today is all about the idealisation. So that it runs idealisation, devaluation, discard, and then it goes round and round and round in that order. The discard isn't a final discard until obviously you realise that something is clearly wrong, or they discard you because they found a replacement for you. It's painful and at each level, but there's an element to trauma bonding and getting you more and more bonded to them, so that you find it very difficult to live without them. So I'm going to concentrate particularly on idealisation. So I've got a few notes in front of me. Idealisation is the initial throes of a relationship. When you get into an emotionally abusive relationship, again, it can be, this can happen in families as well as romantic, it can happen in the workplace. There's this element of newness, there's this element obviously at the beginning of a relationship, but it's there's an element that they're listening to absolutely everything that you say, every single word. They might go on Facebook and stalk you if you're on Facebook. Obviously, maybe you are if you're watching this live. But they go and they stalk your friends. They find out what your interests are, what your values are, and they go through absolutely everything. So they know exactly what to say and how to say it and how to wrap it up into something that is going to appeal to you, and that you actually feel, oh God, I know this person so well. So it's these are emotionally abusive, these are toxic people, and they cause so much damage. Now, I don't know whether they really know how much damage they cause or not. Or whether they just get a kick out of it. I really don't know. It's a bit like Chinese water torture. It's very, very slow and insidious. It's like a drop. You're being fed information. You're everything that they appear to like everything that you like. I mean, that isn't really common in relationships. There are going to be things that you do and you don't like. But basically, there's a target going on, and you more or less sort of fell in love with yourself in a weird way, in the fact that they're mirroring everything that you're doing, everything that you're saying, and there's this. What you're finding interesting is. Hi, whoever's just on. I can't see any comments. I can't see who's joining and watching. So you're falling in love with part of yourself, because they're actually mirroring back to you the bits they like about you. They're taking them on themselves. Now, I got these 6 major points, which are the major techniques used to brainwash you, and it's from Psychopath I by Jackson Mackenzie. And the first one is we have so much in common. The second one is we have the same hopes and dreams. Number 3 is we share the same insecurities. You are beautiful. Number 5 is I've never felt this way in my life. And number 6 is we're soulmates. So you might have experienced, if you're suffering or have come out of a traumatic relationship, it's really, really hard to deal with the emotional turmoil that you go through. And I'll talk about that on Thursday, the discard that goes through, and why your brain is so mashed up. So basically they listen to everything and they mirror it back to you. So all your values, they repack it and repeat it back to you as if they were their own. In part of the process, they've taken over your life. Your dreams have gone, and because you believe that this person is your ideal, this person is what you've been waiting for, and they shower you with gifts, and they're there with presents and time. And what they're actually doing is they're brainwashing you very, very gradually. Now, you might wake up to text messages or WhatsApp messages, or it might be a Facebook message, but there will be some form of communication. But what they're wanting you to do is see their name at the top of the list, and you'll be thinking about them first. And this is all of this part of this Chinese water, the drip, drip, drip. So where are we? And the fake to future. So number 1 is the mirroring, and this is basically how they do it right the way through. Number 2 is they have the same hopes and dreams, and the reason they do that is because they're mirroring exactly what they've heard and that you've said to them, and they're repeating back to you, or they're repackaging it in some way that's going to appeal to you. Number 3 was we share the same insecurities. They know and hone in and have picked out where you have hold some form of insecurity, and they've done that at a really, really early stage from meeting you, and they play their insecurities as if they're the same. And they love the attention they get from you, because as an empath, your nature is to help heal people, to nurture them and to make things right. So that's where, but what they're actually doing is highlighting your own insecurities. And what part of you will be doing is wondering, look, I'm putting all this effort in and helping them, who's going to be there for me? But it just gets stepped over and ignored. And they also respond with being so grateful and gracious, and they boost you up a step. They're putting you up on this pedestal, and you're going higher and higher and higher, and increasing your confidence and self-esteem. The compliments you receive are going to make you feel special, so that's number 4. They might compare you to their exes. Actually, what they're doing is they're taking an ex or an ex-partner who was, and they might be comparing you to. So they'll be telling you what this person did, and they'll be explaining this to you in under a different way. And what they're doing is they're actually putting you up and saying, but of course you're never going to do anything like that. And what they're actually doing is, what they're actually saying to you is, if you behave like this, my ex, this is why they're an ex, because they behaved in this way. And they're getting you to they're training you in the fact that you're thinking to yourself, if I need to hang on to this guy, he's really special, or I need to hang on to this woman, she's really special. And and you're going to be making mental notes of not behaving in that way and not doing what they did. So that's another way that they're manipulating you. Again, you're so special. They've never met anybody like you. How amazing is that you have this impact? All of the other people they've had in their lives that they've told you about, because they won't hold back. They're going to tell you about every single relationship, and because they need to make you feel in a way insecure, because that's their Achilles heel, that is their problem. They are insecure. So this is how you fall into this trap. This is how you fall into this pattern. You found your soulmate because they tell you that you are their soulmate. Nobody has ever made them feel the way you feel. And how special does that make you? Your ego is very possibly flying high because you're being told all these things. They also do the projection because they love attention. They'll project out, and they might project you out because they're getting attention via you. And they're also conditioning you to make sure that you look your best all the time for them. And they're also conditioning you to by this comparison in relationships is to make this effort and brainwash you really into behaving the way that they want to behave. So this is they're creating a bond all the time with you. They're creating this bond, which and I'll talk about that tomorrow, which is the devaluation that pops in and out. And they will always come back to the idealisation. They'll always bring it back in again. They just want to make sure that they've bonded with you enough for you not to go until they're ready. Now, the very last bit, there are two things. So one is, just remember, all those things that they said were amazing about you. Okay, I know I'll talk about that tomorrow, but they are amazing and you are amazing. Okay, those things are true. They've picked out. They have. I totally believe, Sarah, that they have told their previous partners that they're the soulmate too. And the next partner after this one will be their soulmate, because the next one they're evolving each time, and they'll be using us as a comparison, and where we went wrong, they'll be training their next partner not to be, that what's not acceptable for them. So there are two things. That you are amazing. All the things that they've told you how amazing you are true. Okay, they are true. That's what's lacking in them, and that's what's really quite sad. And that's why you were targeted, because that's the bits, those are the missing pieces that they don't have. And the other thing that I just wanted to quickly talk about is very, very short relationships, emotionally abusive relationships. I believe actually could be more harmful than a longer term relationship. And the reason I say that is because it's all condensed down. You might, in a shorter relationship, you might not get as much of the love bombing, but you'll certainly get the future faking. You're certainly going to get all of the idealization stuff that goes along, but you might not get as many gifts. And there might be, because we're fitting three things in here, we're fitting the idealization, the devaluing, and the discard into a short period of time. So basically what they're doing is they either just out for a little fling, or they're looking for somebody to fill the gap while they're working on their next target, their next they might have been discarded. Somebody might have caught up with them and said, no, I'm done, and they bring someone in place on a short term, so they've got the attention that they need. But I actually believe that the trauma from a short relationship could possibly be more devastating than from a longer term relationship. So I hope you found that helpful. Once again, if you need to chat or do anything, PM me. I know there's a lot going on with the eclipses at the moment. There's a lot of people feeling really achy and emotionally all over the place. So particularly if you've been in any sort of relationship where you've come out completely confused and you don't know where you are and what's gone on, and you're out looking for answers and you're trying to find, and you feel crazy, just send me a message. I put a message on yesterday saying anyone needs any Reiki at the moment, just send me a personal message and just tell me in what area, whether it's emotional or whatever it's for, and I'll tune in and send some distance Reiki for nothing, because I know exactly what's going. It's horrible. I've been feeling really, really wobbly for the last couple of weeks now. But the next eclipse is on Friday, so yay for that. I have a feeling it's actually going to be like a volcano, and then there's an eclipse on the 13th of August as well. So if you need any help, I've got this workshop. It's a 1-day workshop. It's designed to help emotional abuse. This is, as I said at the beginning, the first of 3. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about the devaluation, and on Thursday I'm going to talk about the discard that happens, and what happens, because it might not be the final discard. You go round and round and round, being trauma bonded and ghosted. But I'll talk about how they all fit together over the next 2 days. So have the fabulous rest of the day. Take it easy, drink water, rest and sleep as much as you can, take naps, look after yourself as if you were a child, and really, really take care of yourself at the moment. Mwah, lots of love.